Hello everyone, Johnny Thunder, EAS&Weather here with your Day 1 fire weather and severe weather outlook. There are two areas where we have an elevated fire weather risk today that encompasses one elevated fire weather risk today covers portions of south central and west central Texas. A second elevated fire risk today covers the panhandle of Texas, the panhandle of Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, and far southeastern Colorado. So, in synopsis, dry and breezy post-vernal conditions are forecast today across much of the southern Great Plains, with at least elevated fire weather concerns across portions of far southwest Texas, as well as southwest Kansas and the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. South central Texas and Big Bend, elevated to locally critical fire weather conditions are forecast this afternoon, with relative humidity as low as 15 to 20% and winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Conditions in the western portion of the outlook area in the vicinity of Big Bend will tend to be drier and perhaps a little less windy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, with the eastern portion in south central Texas being more humid and windier, 15 to 20 miles per hour. A narrow corridor of locally critical conditions may exist within the gradient of these conditions, where the drier air and higher wind speeds overlap with receptive fuels. However, there is not high enough confidence in a large enough spatial and temporal overlap of these conditions to warrant additional highlights at this time. Southwestern Kansas and the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. Though surface temperatures will be relatively cooler this far north into the post-vernal air mass, daytime heating and mixing is forecast to raise surface temperatures into the mid to upper 40s Fahrenheit. Forecast profiles across the area are well mixed and very dry, with surface relative humidity of around 15% and winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Given the critically dry fields across the area and recent wildfire activity, elevated highlights have been introduced in this outlook. So, that's your Day 1 fire weather outlook. Remain safe and vigilant in these areas today, and if I were you, I would gather supplies immediately, such as food, water, clothing, toiletries, medical supplies, a flashlight, a cell phone, phone chargers, extra batteries, flashlights, and a battery-powered radio in the event they need to evacuate on a moment's notice, because fire can start and they can spread quickly. Please avoid outdoor burning. Please avoid outdoor burning in these areas, in the elevated areas. Okay? So, do not throw cigarettes on the ground. Do not throw cigarettes on the ground, even if they're not lit, because 1, that's littering. 2, one little spark is all it takes for a fire to start and spread quickly. And make sure your cigarette is fully out before you throw it away. So, remain safe in the elevated areas today, and now I'm going to go over to the Day 1 severe weather outlook portion of the video. As for severe weather, there is a marginal risk for severe weather today that encompasses a tiny bit of Louisiana, southeastern Mississippi, southern Alabama, parts of the Florida Panhandle, southern half of Georgia, and south central South Carolina. Cities in today's marginal include Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina. Going to today's tornado threat, there is a 2% chance of an isolated tornado today that encompasses south central and southeastern Alabama, southern half of Georgia, and south central South Carolina. Cities in the 2% tornado risk area today include Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, Albany, Georgia, and Dothan, Alabama. And now to the wind threat for today. There is a 5% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today that encompasses a tiny bit of Louisiana, southeastern Mississippi, southern Alabama, parts of the Florida Panhandle, southern half of Georgia, and south central South Carolina. Cities in the 5% wind risk area today include Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina. And now to today's hail threat. There is a 5% chance of hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger today, covering a tiny bit of Louisiana, southeast Mississippi, southern Alabama, a little bit of the Florida Panhandle, parts of Georgia, and south central South Carolina. The 5% hail risk area today includes Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina. So, in summary, isolated severe thunderstorms are possible across parts of the southeast today into this evening. Damaging wind gusts, large hail, and perhaps a tornado are the expected hazards. So, that's your day 1 severe weather outlook. Stay safe in the affected areas today, despite just only having a marginal, because sometimes marginals can produce some pretty strong storms, and you know what the heck a marginal can pull off sometimes. So, anyway, day 2 is just general thunderstorms. So, if day 2 remains general thunderstorms, then I will not have a day 2 severe weather outlook, because there'll be no point. Okay? So, again, if day 2 stays a thunderstorm, general thunderstorms, then there'll be no day 2. There'll be no day 2 severe weather outlook video. Okay? So, but if day 2 does get upgraded to a marginal, then I will have a day 2 video for severe weather. If not, I should have my day 2 fire weather outlook video later, because there's an elevated area for day 2, which I'll go over in the day 2 fire weather outlook later today or tonight. Take care.